Hello sports fans, Mauricio here. Well, this video is about case statements, and specifically case statements are inside update statements. So we're going to update a row of data, put values into some columns of that row. So update table name set column equals. We are putting values into that column, and but what if you have now we're just doing one row. Okay, so we're just updating one row in the sales summary table, our new sales summary table. We're just updating one row in it. But you could, if you didn't have this where statement, you could put in values to all the rows for one column. So just looking at this one set of code here, we could add a new column to this sales summary table and fill it with values. And it could be numeric values. It could be textual values. You could do different calculations and put different values in the column, based on some tricky update code, in case they're a gold member of your membership club, do this for that column. In case they're a diamond member of the loyalty club, do something else. So you can put a value in a column based on evaluating some other column. So evaluate here. Go evaluate the hour. What time of day did the invoice happen? 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m. Those are very different customers. The customers that shop 1, 2, 3 a.m. might be international. The customers that shop 10 a.m. to noon, might be shopping at work. The customers that buy stuff from 6 to 9 p.m. might be sitting on their couch. So it's very interesting to look at sales data by time of day. And so if we have hour, which I don't think we have in the sales summary table, but let's see if we don't have it in the sales details table either, but we could easily calculate that. If our invoice date has hours in it, we could easily pull that data out. But if we had hour, sometimes that date is too granular. Oh, they made a sale at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 8, 9, 10. That's great for a line chart. All right, great. Let's look at the sales over time, in this case, by hour of day. And that would be pretty interesting if you were to draw 7 lines on a line chart, one for Monday, one for Tuesday, by hour. So it could be, that's actually fascinating. What time of day are people buying? It's probably different on the weekends. It's probably different for weekdays. So, sorry. I get excited when I do analytics, and I hope you do too. All the questions that management wants to know that can be pulled out of numbers is available. Let me get back to the script here. So we're updating one column, in one table. And so we have an update set statement, and that could be all you do. And you could update all of the rows for this column in the table. But if you include a where statement, okay, so we're just going to update one of the rows. But the update set is very powerful to put values into a column. They could be different calculations based on some criteria. They could be, here it's different words. I'll explain in a minute, based on some criteria. And by the way, you can have 5 or 10 different you can update 5 or 10 different columns in one update set statement. Just separate them by commas. And so the case statement inside an update set statement is a wicked powerful and very useful. And we will, in MIS 420, talk about we'll talk about case statements inside a select statement. A case statement inside a select statement creates a new column. Here, we already have the column, so go update that column. So the column is already there. We're just putting values in it. So an update statement is putting values in a column. And in this case, we're just doing it for one row in that column. But so that's very useful to populate a column. All right, so what are we doing here? So we have so we summarize some of the sales details for invoice 29 in the prior video, and then we're going to put a row in the sales summary table. But we need to categorize that sale. So was that sale in the overnight shift between midnight and 6 a.m.? Was that sale before lunch, 7 to 12? People bought something in the morning. Was it in the afternoon or at night? So 24 hours a day. So this is a case statement. So this video is about case statements. So let's talk about case statements. So if you have only two outcomes, that would be an if statement. IIF is the one we normally use. An if statement is used like a case statement, if you're doing program flow. But most of the time, a DBA would be updating data or selecting data with IIF. But anyway, there's only true or false. What if you have 4 outcomes? Then you can't use an if statement. You need to use a case statement. So if you're at the crossroads on a street and you have to go left or right, that's just that's an if statement. But if you arrive at a street where you can go in 4 different directions, that would be a case statement. So here we have 4 different outcomes. So for example, I might have 4 different jackets that I put on in the morning, or 4 different suggestions for the clothing I wear. A, no jacket. So if it's over, say, 75 degrees, no jacket. If it's 50 to 75 degrees, just a windbreaker. If it's 30 to 50 degrees, then a light jacket. If it's 0 to 30 degrees, then a parka or something like that. So the value that's written into the column can differ based on the criteria. Now here's the best part about case statements. You, the DBA analyst, decides the ranges. Well, yeah, I guess you'd get these from the management report requester. But the DBA analyst decides the values and the logic in creating those values. What I'm trying to say is this is value added activity. What are we doing here, Featherman? We're categorizing the sale. So sometimes data is too granular, it's too detailed. You ask your friend, how you doing? And they go talk for a half hour. No, that's too detailed. All I want to know, are you okay or not okay? I don't have time, I'm sorry. Gotta go shopping. But so we're categorizing this data. We're categorizing the hour of the sale, okay? And we're pulling the hour of the sale out of the invoice state. Now, I could have wrapped this in some type of variable, put date, part, hour into variable, and then say when variable between, and that would shorten up the code a little bit. But in SQL, the test condition is repeated over and over and over, and that's about the only thing I don't like about case statements in SQL. The test condition is repeated over and over and over. In other languages, it's more parsimonious. But I want to put a value in a column: overnight, morning. So the column is called shift. What shift did that sale occur on? So I've defined 4 shifts. And so the sale is going to be coded. And so why would you code the sale into 4 categories? Because that data is less granular. So 4 is less than 24. So I don't want to categorize the sales by hour of day, 24 hours. That'll be too many columns in my column chart. But if I only had 4, then I would have 4 columns in my column chart. Or if I had a stacked column chart, I'd have 4 sections within that each stacked column. So we're categorizing data, and analysts do this all day long. Categorize things, put things into categories so you can better understand them. When the data is too granular, it's hard to make sense of it. So you would categorize in it, and if you found, oh, wow, we don't really have any morning sales, then you would dig in deeper and then maybe look at it by hour, et cetera. So maybe between 7 and 8:30 a.m. there's a lot of sales, but between 9 and noon there's none. So maybe if you found that out, do 7 to 7:30, 7 between 7 and 8:30, have a discount at that time. Oh, early morning shoppers, here's a discount for you. So what does a case statement do? It's writing a value into the column based on the hour of day. The second one is writing a value into this supply chain management impact. So so we have to pick, pack, and ship these products. We got to stick them in, shipping boxes and then mail them. So I decided, to come up with something like that sale. Was it, will it be take a lot of effort to box it up and ship it, or is it very minimal? So if it's only like 3 items, then it's a minimal. But when you have 11 to 20 items, then the supply chain impact, now it's starting to be a little bit of work. And if they're buying more than 50 units, and you could do something way more complex than this. But that invoice, knowing that invoice is got a strong impact on the supply chain, that lets, if I came into work at 9 a.m. and saw that the sales from the prior night were all, high impact, then that lets me know, I might need to, keep my shipper longer today, or have them call their buddy in to help me pack up more things, or call in the temp workers. So we're categorizing rows so that later on we can do something with that category. So again, we like to categorize data to make sense of it, or put things into categories so we can segment data, categorize it, and take a look at it. So I'll go ahead and run this. And look at, I found out. So executing that just saved it. But you can right click and execute the stored procedure. Now there's no input variables, so it should just work. So I ripped out some of the code, so it's not all completely working. But we could see, so it was an overnight sale, and the impact is strong because, I don't know, there's a lot of items. So there's 105 units on it. So, and it happened. I don't have the time here, the minutes there, but it happened, at a certain time that put that value in the shift column. So we have to make sure the sales detail has the hour in it for this to work. So let's check that. But we can see that we got values in here that can be used later in a slicer, in a where statement, to categorize and take a look at things. So update set case. Don't forget the end. So case when then, case when then, case when then, end. So update set case. Very powerful, very useful to categorize data. Have a great day.